Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And the top story now at 6. It has been a year since State Trooper First Class Aaron Pelleter was killed on the job, and his hometown is honoring him by honoring something he loved to do. That is coming up in a few minutes. Thank you for joining us here for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Tim Lammers. We do want to start here with a weather impact forecast because a lot of you have some plans for the weekend. I know my son's birthday party is tomorrow, Deshaun Robinson. Hoping that I think it's starting at noon, so I'm hoping most of the rain gets out of the way before then, hopefully.
Yes, good news. Most of the rain will be over by noon, but tonight is looking like a nasty one, especially after midnight. Expect some heavy rain and thunderstorms between midnight and 6 a.m. on Saturday. Otherwise, Saturday, few showers in the morning will give way to partly sunny skies in the afternoon. And this weekend is looking like another unseasonably cool one. Wave of low pressure will push into the northeast tonight with some heavy rain and thunderstorms in our area. This evening, mostly cloudy skies are expected, dry for the most part, but after midnight, this is when the heavy rain will start, and it's just going to rain into 6 a.m. tomorrow. Coming up, I'll let you know more about this weekend's weather. Back to you.
And back to the remembrance of State Trooper First Class Pelleter. It was on May 30th, 2024, as we said a year ago today, that he was hit and killed by a truck while in the middle of a traffic stop on I-84. That happened in his hometown of Southington, a town where he was raising a family of his own. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is here now to show us how his neighbors there in Southington are keeping Pelleter's memory alive.
It's been 1 year since Trooper First Class Aaron Pelleter was killed in the line of duty. His community continues to honor him in any way they can. This week, the Southington Town Council voted unanimously to rename a softball field in his honor. The lower softball field at Panthorn Park will now be named Aaron M. Pelleter Field. Trooper Pelleter lived in Southington and went to Southington High School. He was a member of the Connecticut Lawmen traveling softball team. Carmen lives in Cheshire but comes to Panthorn Park with her children often. She says the tragedy feels like it just happened yesterday.
I have kids similar to his children's age, and it was really heart-wrenching to see or hear that they lost their dad, and I couldn't imagine my own children losing their father. Pelleter also coached his young son's t-ball team. Alex Smith says the renaming of this field not only honors a fallen hero, but will keep his memory alive for generations to come.
I think it's good for children to see something like that and ask their parents, why is it named that? And then their parents can share a story with them as well. Caitlin Smith lives in Southington. She says she hopes the renaming of this softball field will bring pride and peace to his family.
I just pray that, they're getting all of the support that they need in this difficult time. I mean, I know it's already been a year, which is crazy to think about, but you need that continuous support, and I think this is a great way to show that.
The community hopes the renaming of this field is a permanent reminder to everyone of the hero that Trooper Pelleter was. In Southington, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
The state police said they'll hold a candlelight vigil in Pelleter's honor tonight. That will take place at 8 o'clock on the Jude Lane overpass in Southington. If you're planning on going, organizers have asked that you arrive by 7:45. Pelleter's wife, Dominique Pelleter, released a statement this morning ahead of tonight's vigil. She said, "There is not a moment that Aaron isn't thought of. He will truly never be forgotten. We miss him more than ever now that the dust has settled and we are finding a routine in our new lives." Now, as for the man who hit and killed Pelleter, Alex Oyola Sanchez pleaded guilty to a manslaughter charge, and last month he was sentenced to 18 years in prison. The state police said Oyola Sanchez's car drifted out of the right lane during Pelleter's stop and first hit Pelleter's cruiser before hitting Pelleter. Oyola Sanchez then drove off from the scene and kept driving until his tire failed near exit 39A in Farmington.
We are the centerpiece of economic development. We are the centerpiece of workforce development. We are the centerpiece of real estate development. There's nothing that education doesn't touch.
As the state legislative session comes to a close, lawmakers are working to pass bills before time runs out. A big priority here is support for special education. Fox 61's Emma Wolfhorst is at the Capitol complex with more.
The House passed this special education bill unanimously, but some advocates say it's just a start.
The bill as amended passes.
After hours of discussion, the House passed a priority special education package 148-0.
Every member in that chamber cares about special education and cares about the children in our districts. We all serve districts and we all know the issues in special education and hear them.
The bill is meant to expand support and access for special education. It includes an additional $30 million each year in 2026 and 2027 for a new special education expansion grant. This money will be divided between school districts based on the amount they currently receive through the state's education cost-sharing formula.
It would cover special education resources, staffing, and also Tier 2 interventions for reading and math. So I think that is one of the most crucial things that we're making sure that supports are happening no matter what school district you're in.
The measure also increases regulation of private special education providers by setting rates. The state education department would limit how much providers can charge for services and prohibits them from raising rates during the school year. Representative Kahn says neighboring states like Massachusetts, New York, and New Jersey already set rates for private providers.
We've seen the increase in the asks that come in for excess costs, especially over the last 3 years. Trying to help mitigate some of that cost, making more transparency over that cost by establishing rate setting for special education providers is a big part of this bill.
While advocates like Connecticut Education Association President Kate Diaz say this bill is helpful, she believes it doesn't go far enough.
I would call it a good start. We're not quite there yet, but as with most bills, they're a starting point, not an ending point. And so for us, that's a really important acknowledgement.
Diaz says while she appreciates lawmakers recognizing the current struggles teachers face, that needs to be backed up by funding.
We have a moment of reckoning about what we want our public education system to look like, and we can't do it on the cheap. Education can't be a shoestring budget. We need to understand that schools are like everything else. Inflation, additional costs for transportation, energy, all of the things that impact every other organization, home, and business in Connecticut impact schools.
This bill is now in the hands of the Senate, and Representative Kahn tells me she's confident it will be called for a vote and passed before June 4th. Reporting at the state capitol, Emma Wolfhorst, Fox 61.
Emma, thank you. Hundreds of New Haven school students walked out of class today to demand more funding for their schools. One school official told us roughly 300 students were involved from different schools across the city, like the Metropolitan Business Academy, Cooperative Arts and Humanities High, Hill Regional Career High School, New Haven Academy, Hill House High, and the Sound School. One student spoke to the media during that walkout, saying that she doesn't want the city's schools to fall apart.
They want us to be scared, but this is a time where we're going to come together. The fact that we had high school students today walk out and march around and ask Yale to pay their taxes, we are together right now.
That young lady during her speech also called on the entire community to come together to fight for more funding for all schools. Well, Middletown is set to be the first city in Connecticut to install speed and red light cameras. The state approved the city's plans to help police catch reckless drivers. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle explains what drivers can expect to see in the coming months.
Here at the Spencer School Zone on Westfield Street, this area of McCormick Lane and Bailey Road sees an average of 15,000 drivers a day, and a study found that nearly half of those drivers go 10 miles an hour or more over the speed limit. This is just one of the areas that will be receiving traffic cameras. The other two streets that will receive speed and red light cameras are Washington Street between Woodgate Drive and George Street and Country Club Road between Higbee Road and Knox Boulevard. Josh Morgan from Connecticut Department of Transportation tells us studies have shown this technology helps reduce speeding.
The country, national research has shown that these devices can reduce crashes by up to 50%. And that's why we're supportive of them.
All the studies on these roads have either shown a high volume of drivers speeding or a high number of crashes in those areas. Traffic enforcement data in Middletown's proposal shows there have been a combined 487 crashes along these three stretches of road. Richard Bruno lives near Westfield Street, where the traffic cameras will be installed. He says he can believe the crash and speeding data because he's seen it firsthand.
Actually, I think it's fantastic. My kids are a little bit older now. They don't go here anymore, but I wish they would have had it a few years back because the people just like to fly right across the street here.
The proposal also said the first offense for drivers will be a written warning, the second will be a $50 fine, and the third offense will be a $75 fine plus an additional $15 fee when paying. Bruno hopes hurting people's wallets will inspire safer driving habits.
You know, people that have kids, I'm sure do care, but the people who don't, you know, they're not really paying attention to it, but it's dangerous. I mean, we have kids that walk to school here, you know, we have parents and stuff that are dropping their kids off and people go around cars. I mean, it's just dangerous. Like, they don't really pay attention. So I'm glad. Hopefully it'll change things a little bit.
While Middletown is the first city to receive approval, two towns, Washington and Marlboro, have also received approval, and the state says there are 6 other cities and towns that have sent in their plans to receive approval for new traffic cameras. In Middletown, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
A one-van crash led to a small hazmat cleanup early this morning in Trumbull. State police said a driver for a commercial pool company slammed the company van into a tree this morning. They said it happened around 1:30 on Route 15 North near exit 49N. They said the driver was seriously hurt but managed to get out of the van and will survive. However, some pool chemicals spilled, so the fire department called in a hazardous materials crew to clean it all up.